Alright, so what's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now today, I'm giving you guys my full Modern Warfare 2 beta review. Now, I want to start this video off by saying I've been having a lot of fun with the Modern Warfare 2 beta. As of recording this, I've only got about an hour or two until the beta does fully close. So, I thought I might as well make my review. I've got, I think, over 10 hours of playtime, probably even more than that in this beta. I've played a lot, I've read a lot online, I've watched a load of videos, and I think I'm now ready to give my full opinions on this game, my full feedback. Now, I do want to start off by saying, once again, I have been having a lot of fun with Modern Warfare 2. I think this is still a fun game as it is. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of critiques with this game because I do have a lot of opinions, a lot of strong opinions, I must say, as well on this game. But yeah, overall, I've been having a lot of fun with it. If I wasn't having fun with it, I would have stopped playing. But I played all the way up until the end, pretty much as I could. So I think the proof is in the pudding. I've been enjoying this game, so I'm not boycotting it. I'm not cancelling my pre-order. I'm going to stick with it because I think it's going to be fun. So just before we hop right into it, because it's going to be a long video and I start talking about the positives of this game, I want to start off by saying that the positives are obviously going to take a lot less time than the negatives. When you talk about things that are positive, you just sort of list things off. You don't really talk about them in depth, or at least that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be talking about them in depth. I'm just going to tell you what I like and move on. Whereas with the bad stuff, I feel like I sort of need to explain myself, explain why I feel that way, that kind of stuff. So that's why it's going to take a little bit longer to get through the bad stuff. But without the way, let's get started on what I like about this game. So the first thing I noticed right away, especially compared to Modern Warfare 2019, the overall graphics and especially the color palette of this game are so much better than Modern Warfare 2019. Obviously the graphics is just a slight increase. However, the color palette is so much better. With Modern Warfare 2019, there was a lot of sort of grey, depressing maps. It wasn't really as aesthetically pleasing because of that. However, with the color palette this year, it looks a lot more vibrant, more bright, which is brilliant to see. Another thing as well, which is a carryover from Modern Warfare 2019, is the animations and the sounds. Obviously, you know, with the gun sounds, the gun attention to detail, it's all very good in this game, so that's a big positive. Now, in terms of the actual gameplay for this game, the pacing does feel a lot better than Modern Warfare 2019, although I do feel like this could be beta blues, and this was definitely a thing in Modern Warfare 2019, where the beta was very fast-paced, it was very enjoyable, very fun, and then we got into the full game, and it was very slow, very campy. I'm scared this is going to happen again with this game, but I just want to say at the moment, the pacing feels very quick, which I like. Obviously, it could be quicker, but it feels good at the moment. This game is quite interesting as well because it has this sort of weird blend, which I really like, between Modern Warfare 2019 sort of realism, sort of like, you know, grounded animations. It's very smooth, but it also has this sort of classic COD arcade feel, which I absolutely love. It has, you know, the same smooth animations, but it has sort of an arcadey classic COD look to it, which I think is really nice. The gunplay feels amazing in this game. It's definitely the best in the series, but that's been a thing since like World War II, Black Ops 3, you know, that sort of era. Every single year they've stepped up the gunplay and made it better, which is obviously a good thing. The maps in this beta are so much better than Modern Warfare 2019. In terms of 6v6 anyway, Farm 18 and Mikado are my two favorites, Farm 18 being the #1. Hotel I do like, although it's not as good as the other two. I still think it's a pretty decent map. It's still playable, so that's good. Next up, we have the Gunsmith 2.0. This is definitely just an evolved version of Modern Warfare 2019's. You have 5 attachments. At the moment, there's no sliders for the attachments. However, I have a feeling that is going to be in the full game because they released a blog post and talked about it somewhere. But yeah, there's no sliders at the moment. The platforms and receivers is a brilliant idea. I really like that, and it's a good way of introducing similar weapons, sort of like the M60 and M4. And finally, the universal attachments in the Gunsmith are amazing as well. I love that you don't have to unlock the same attachment for every single gun in the game. You unlock it once, and that's that, unless it's like unique attachments, which is fantastic. Kill streaks and score streaks in this game are really, really good. The fact that you can just flip between them is fantastic. And the streak variety in this game is really good. I think there's about 19 total, and the streaks feel powerful in this game, which I really like. That's a very key, important part of enjoying the game, is having the streaks feel good, which is nice. The vehicle gameplay is just built off of Modern Warfare 2019. There's a lot more in depth to it. You can shoot out tires, you can stand on the roof. There's water vehicles. There's just more vehicles in general. A lot of it is just built off of the original game, which I like. The field upgrade variety is fantastic in this game. It feels like a lot of them from Modern Warfare 2019 have been transferred over, and not only that, they've added a load of new ones as well. The portable radar from Modern Warfare 3, I love that thing. That I'm so happy that it's back. The battle rage is a very interesting one as well. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's a very interesting addition, which I like. The camera, although it can promote camping a little bit, you can use it in a sort of tactical rushy way. In S&D it's going to be quite useful as well, which I like. And the decoy, I think it's a very funny one, so yeah, I love to see all those. In terms of equipment, the drill charge is an amazing addition, just overall an amazing lethal. I love it so much. We have the slide and the dolphin dive in this game, where you tap to slide and you hold to dolphin dive. Brilliant. It's not just like the dolphin dive is useless either, it actually feels very good, which I like. The ledge hanging and the pistol quick draw are two good features. The pistol quick draw is where you pull out your secondary while holding your primary. Two good innovations once again. And finally, the spectating cam, where it's like the helmet cam. I think that's very cool, and I like to see that sort of unique take on spectating. However, I think there should be a toggle option between the normal one and the original one as well, but it's nice to see them mix that up. Okay, so now that we've talked about everything that I like in the Modern Warfare 2 beta, we're going to talk about the bad, and I do have two separate lists for the bad stuff. I have stuff that's carried over from Modern Warfare 2019, and stuff that I think is sort of new that we should talk about. So, the Modern Warfare 2019 list. No red dots on the minimap. Why? It promotes camping, it promotes dogshit players. Dead Silence being a field upgrade, yeah, this goes hand in hand with the next one, but this just should be a perk, man. Obviously, it shouldn't complete Silence Your Footsteps, but Dead Silence field upgrade doesn't even complete Silence Your Footsteps in this game anyway. When you're tac sprinting, I'm pretty sure you can still hear people, so that's brilliant. Not only that as well, they've heavily nerfed Dead Silence in this game. There's an activation noise. You have to bring out a thing and tap it. You don't get a sprint speed bonus. Why did they nerf something that was already bad? That doesn't make sense. Footstep volume, way too loud in this game. This is something I think they're going to amend, but the directional audio, I have to say, is fantastic. But yeah, the footstep audio is just way too loud. Squad spawns is something I only recently discovered in Modern Warfare 2, and apparently it was something in Modern Warfare 2019 as well, where you don't have your sort of two sides of the maps, and that's where people spawn, and that you can flip spawns, obviously. The way that it works is that you'll always spawn around your teammates, no matter where they are on the map, so the spawns are completely fucked in this game. It was the same in Modern Warfare 2019. I don't know why they brought them back, but I only just discovered this, so that's why spawns have been so shit for the last few years. I didn't even know that. No map voting, again, why? I don't want to have to, you know, lobby hop just to get a map that I actually like, especially with Modern Warfare 2019's maps being as shit as they were. Hopefully that's not the case in this game, but when there's so many bad maps, you have to just hop between lobbies. I hope that's not a thing in this game. Disbanding lobbies, once again, with the SBMM, it's fucking stupid. However, they have said that they're looking into changing that, improving the UI, so you actually do stay in lobbies, which is nice. I'm glad they addressed that. Scoreboard not showing details like deaths and assists and whatever. Like, what's the point in that? You have so much space in the scoreboard, but you can only fit 3 things: my score, my kills, and my assists. Are you fucking stupid? Where's my captures? Where's my deaths? There's so many stats that you could display, and you know, you have them at the end of the game. Why can't I see them mid-game? What's the reason for that? The flying animation when you respawn, this isn't in every game mode. I'm pretty sure hardpoint's not a thing. You can tell the difference massively when it's not in the game, so that needs to go. There's literally a setting for it in custom games as well, so that needs to go. Oh, I should have mentioned actually as well, there's a setting for the red dots on the minimap in custom games as well. But Ghost being overpowered once again this year. Obviously, it's an ultimate perk, so it's not as bad, but they've just reduced the charge up time, so it is that bad. The fact that you can sit in a corner with Ghost is ridiculous, once again promoting that dogshit camping playstyle. And finally, no detailed weapon stats or percentages. So obviously in Cold War and Vanguard we had detailed weapon stats. Now they weren't completely accurate all the time, so I'm not really asking for them to come back, so they weren't always right. But at least tell us with attachments what percentage they increase my accuracy or my damage range. You know, give me a 10%, give me a 15%, you know, so I know generally how much it affects it. Instead, we just have plus and minus and these stupid stat bars that we've had for years. I don't know. We went forwards with this innovation, then went backwards again. I'd just like to see something changed. So that's all the stuff from Modern Warfare 2019 that was carried over into this game, which I just don't understand why they did that. We spent all these years complaining about them. They brought pretty much everything back in this game, which is dumb. But anyway, this is the new stuff that I don't like in this game. The first thing is the perk packages. I don't get why we have to earn our perks mid-game, and I've said this time and time again. I appreciate the innovation from Infinity Ward. I like the fact they're trying to change something, but this is just not it. This is not correct, so you need to revert this, and if you don't, people are just going to grow to hate the game. They're going to grow to hate you. I think a good compromise for this is Exclusive Ace's idea, where you get all the base versions of the perks at the start of the game, and you have to charge up a pro perk. Let's say with Ghost, at the start of the game, you appear off the radar only while moving, right? And, although I don't like this that much, once you've charged that version of the perk up, you get the thing where you can sit in a corner like a Mongol and stay off the radar. You know, it's not an amazing thing, but it's a good compromise. It's a good way to have pro perks as well, because I love pro perks. So, I think this is possibly the best compromise. Either that, or let us have 3 perks at the start of the game and charge up an ultimate perk. I think that makes sense. The bonus perks to go back into the normal ones. You can choose 3 perks there. I think in the perk 1, 2, 3 system would be better instead of just 3 from any, you know, pool or whatever. And then you charge up your ultimate perk throughout the match. I think that, you know, those two are the best compromises. But realistically, we should just go back to 2 perk 1s, a perk 2 and a perk 3. I like the idea of 2 perk 1s. I think that part should stay. Just the charging up version of it, I think that needs to go. Camping in this game is definitely empowered. Now, it's nowhere near as bad as Modern Warfare 2019, but there are a lot of things in this game that promote camping. Things that we talked about previously, like the Footstep Volume, the red dots on the mini-maps, you know, a lot of things like that. Ghost not working properly, even the flying animation, that... It doesn't necessarily promote camping, but that definitely slows down the pace of the game. And, you know, we're not playing Insurgency Sandstorm here. We're not playing Rainbow Six Siege. You know, people who say that, you know, these things should stay in the game to slow down the pace of the game, that's ridiculous. Call of Duty has always been a fast-paced arcade shooter. And if you're looking for a slow, tactical, first-person shooting game, there's Insurgency Sandstorm, there's Rainbow Six Siege. Why are you coming to COD and trying to change it into those games when it has its own identity? And they're trying to change that and make it a slow version of the game, and it just isn't fun, especially with people like me who like to rush, or, you know, I'm a rusher or a stalker or whatever. I'm not a sentinel. You know, I like to move. I like to use my legs. I like to use situational awareness beyond my fucking ears. So I don't get why Infinity Wards promote camping and this dogshit playstyle. Sitting in the corner and listening and all that stuff does not help you get better at the game. You might perform better than you would rushing, but you're not getting better. It's a false illusion that you're being projected to make you, you know, be brainwashed into thinking that you're doing better, when realistically, you're not getting better. You're just performing better. They're two completely different things. And as well, people that say that you only want red dot chase with red dots on, you know, the unsilenced weapons or whatever, literally never, you're not allowed to call in a UAV ever again. Because what do you do when you call in a UAV? You chase red dots. And you can tell me you earn that. Go fuck yourself. Silencers exist. Suck your mum. Time to kill in this game is slightly too quick. I think it only needs to be upped a tiny bit, maybe like 50 to 100 milliseconds, somewhere around there. I think if they increased the health to 125, or, you know, did something with damage like that, I think that would help this game be a lot better. And this is definitely paired with the footstep audio. I think having the footstep audio be as loud as it is and allowing someone to pre-fire you is ridiculous, with the time to kill being as quick as it is, because you can't rely on your reactions in that situation to help you win the gunfight if you're better than the person pre-aiming you. With something like Black Ops Cold War with Black Ops 4, the time to kill was quick enough where if the person pre-aimed you wasn't as good as you could react to him shooting you or standing there and still come out on top because you're better than that person. However, with the time to kill being as quick as it is in this game, it doesn't really allow you to react to the person pre-aiming you. So I think the time to kill should be slightly increased. Obviously as well, with a ninja perk or the footsteps being reduced in audio, that would alleviate this issue a lot. But I would like to see just sort of all of them amended, because it helps, you know, people like me who like to move around the map. I just think it's funny that people say like, oh, your twitchy gameplay has been removed. Oh, you start crying because your twitchy gameplay was removed. But you gotta understand, Infinity Ward have been trying to promote inclusivity with this game. They've been trying to promote every playstyle is allowed, every playstyle, you know. So you've got your rushers, people who like to run around the map, rely on their reaction times to win gunfights. They don't really follow sort of systems. They just sort of run around and look for gunfights. You have your sentinels who like to sit in corners, sit on ledges, mount because they're dog shit and can't get better at the game. And then you have your stalkers, the people who they play a little bit slower than rushers, but they still move around the map. They flank, you know, they have more tactical awareness, that kind of stuff. They play the game a little bit more tactically, but they still move around the map, that kind of stuff. So you've got these three playstyles, but realistically, the only the only one actually that is empowered in the game is sentinels, campers, dog shit. Those, in my opinion, are the only ones that are actually empowered, and I do understand why they would say that they need to be empowered, because they are the worst of the three. Generally, the worst players are going to be tailoring towards being a sentinel and a camper, as opposed to rushing around the map, so that's why they empower them. However, they haven't just empowered the campers, they've also severely nerfed the stalkers and the rushers. So, do you see why it doesn't make sense? They're not promoting all three playstyles, they're trying to promote camping, and although they try and tell us they're not doing that, that's what they're doing, everyone can tell. The UI in this game as well is fucking dreadful, it's so bad. So I'm just gonna go right here. So if we go to the main menu, as you can see here, we have the message of the day, we have what's hot, which is a few different game modes, and we have games. So if we go to, let's say, invasion here, because I can't pick quick play or hardpoint, whatever, and then I have to back out again to choose all the game modes here. So I can choose, let's say, hardpoint. Then I have to start the match. It's just kind of annoying when you have to back out here as well. If you want to change the game mode, you have to go back here and then start again. It's just a bit annoying. As well with this whole horizontal design as well, if we go into the creator class here, everything is just horizontally designed. I think the vertical design was just so much better. It just worked so much better. And yeah, I hope they have a change for this. I do believe that this UI is a beta-specific UI, however, especially with the whole, like, what's hot, and, you know, you don't have your three games, your campaign, multiplayer, spec ops, there's no list for those three modes, so I believe this is just a beta-exclusive UI. However, a lot of things like the Gunsmith and, you know, all that kind of stuff, that is, I reckon, going to be in the full game, so I'm hoping they at least make it a little bit easier, remove some of the sub-menus. It's a bit annoying to navigate, so I just hope they look into that. The only 6v6 map in this beta that I would say I dislike, or maybe go as far to say I hate, is Museum. It's massive, there's tons of open space, and although it is actually still a 3-lane map, the lanes are massive. Like, the middle lane is about the size of a map or 2 maps, you know, it's insane. And then the right side of the map is just an open field with some Stonehenge bullshit, and the other side of the map is actually alright. What were they thinking with this map? This is a ground war map, a minimum, you know, a 10v10 map, something, you know what I mean? This, I think, is where blitz pacing should be introduced in the game. Either that, or at least for the larger maps, introduce them so they, you know, at the base have 8 players, 10 players, you know, something like that. Because 6v6 on this map is ridiculous. Last Stand just needs to fucking go. Why did we bring Last Stand back? You know, 10 years ago when you were promoting Modern Warfare 3, you made a specific decision to promote the fact that Last Stand was not in the game. And then, and I quote, say, "Fuck you, Last Stand." And then 10 years later, you bring it back as a fucking perk. Not a death streak, as a perk. What the fuck were you thinking with this? Now, granted, it's not as bad because you don't have a pistol, but what the fuck? It's so disgusting. It disrupts gameplay so much, because if you run to 2 people, you shoot one, yeah, you can swat to the other person, then finish the guy, but instinctively, you're going to kill that guy, you're going to shoot him until he dies, so you have to shoot him when he's knocked, put a few more rounds into him, then potentially die. If you're going for long shots, the person gets knocked, he gets revived by a teammate because you can't get there quick enough, you don't get the long shot. Do you see how this is fucking stupid? Why did you bring this back? Why? Who the fuck over the past 10 years has been asking for Last Stand to come back? Nobody! Nobody wants this in the game. And you, specifically, 10 years ago, made a point to get rid of it and promote your game without Last Stand, and then you bring it back. What the hell were you thinking, Infinity Ward? Fuck you. Oh, sorry, that wasn't in the script. Anyway, no red name tags over enemies as well. Now, I don't know if this is a bug or not, or if this is generally how they designed it, but we need name tags. Why the fuck, once again, are you trying to change this? Just add name tags to the game for the enemies. It's stupid. I think as well, touching on the whole Russia thing, sprint out times are too slow now. Granted, if you're attack sprinting around a corner, you probably should be punished for running around the corner a little bit, especially if you're, compared to just normally running around the corner. There should be a sprint out time. I do agree with that. However, it shouldn't be as high as it is, to recover from that. I think they should reduce it by about 50 to 100 milliseconds in the sprint out time, because I think at the moment they're around about 200-300 milliseconds. I think reduce it a little bit, but not too much, because once again, if you're attack sprinting around the corner, you shouldn't be able to bring up your gun instantly. That's not really fair. Battle Rage, in my opinion, is pretty useless in this game, although I think the design point, I think it is very, very good. Obviously, so your attack sprint is unlimited. Your health regen starts instantly, sort of like quick fix, and it sort of gives you a battle hardened effect as well. So yeah, I think it's kind of pointless, especially when footstep audio is so loud and there's no ninja perk, to have your attack sprint unlimitedly refreshed. I think the way they can counter this with Battle Rage, eliminate sprint out times or significantly reduce it with Battle Rage. If you think about it this way, right, so you've got your 2 field upgrades for your 2 different playstyles that aren't Sentinels. So you've got your Stalker playstyle, which has Dead Silence, so that allows you to flank, maneuver, that kind of stuff. And you have your Battle Rage, that's tailored towards your Rusher, right? I think it makes sense that you commit to that tailorment, or that's not even the fucking word. You commit to that where Dead Silence is obviously tailored to the Stalker. Yeah, buff Dead Silence is what I'm trying to say. But then also Battle Rage should be buffed as well, where it eliminates your sprint out time, because that is a Rusher's field upgrade. Don't half-arse it. Make it actually usable, especially with the footstep audio being so loud. I don't think eliminate sprint out times, but at least significantly reduce them to like 50 to 100 milliseconds. That should be the base time. I think that would make Battle Rage a lot better, and I think they should consider that, especially because it's a medium charge, and you don't have that long with it, and you can't refresh it like Dead Silence. So I think eliminating that time is a good idea. Now, just a couple quick things before I finish out this video for the bad stuff. The stun sensitivity needs to be reduced. When you get stunned, the sensitivity is even worse than Warfare 2019. And not only that as well, people are going to complain about this. The aim assist with the stun sensitivity is insane. Now, I'm not a person, I play a controller, so I'm not going to sit here and say aim assist needs to be removed, because I'm not brain dead. But the sensitivity and the aim assist when you're stunned is insane. It's ridiculous. So they need to look into that. The no reload cancelling as well is fucking ridiculous. So they have this thing this year where it's like, I think it's called like staged reloads or something, where if you take out the mag with your gun when you're reloading, if you try and swap weapons or reload cancel, your magazine will still be out of the gun. If you put the magazine back in without cocking the gun, you won't, and you try and reload cancel, you'll still need to cock the gun. So basically it adds a sort of realism effect to it, because if you're in a real gunfight, you take the magazine out, you can't just YY and then put the mags back in magically. But this is a COD game. This isn't a simulation. It's fucking Call of Duty. Why do we need realism in our games? This is ridiculous. I've been playing this game for like over a decade now, right? I'm used to reload cancelling, so why take that away from me? I've been conditioned for, this entire time to reload cancel, and you try and take that away from me. Fuck you. Get rid of this. It's fucking stupid. I don't care about realism. And finally, nerf the MP5, or sorry, the Luckman sub. Yeah, it needs a nerf, so just make sure you nerf that. So on a side note, I don't really like how the guns aren't called by their real life counterparts, like the Kastov 740, the TAC 56, the Luckman. I do understand that licensing is more expensive these days, with the weapon manufacturers. I think they realise that's a gold mine, and Infinity Ward or Activision or whoever have decided not to pay that. I just think it's a little annoying. I think this is the first time in COD history that the MP5 is in a game. It's not called the MP5. So I do understand why they have not done it, but it's just a little bit annoying, it kind of takes away from that feeling, I guess. But anyway, that's everything I want to talk about with the Modern Warfare 2 beta. Now, I'm going to give this an overall score, and my score is 7 out of 10. I think this beta is a solid 7 out of 10. Maybe you could push that down to a 6, 6.5, because there was so much I talked about that I didn't like. However, I think the stuff they did well with this game that I talked about at the start, they did fantastically. The design of this game, like from a technical standpoint, is beautiful, and I genuinely think this COD game has the potential to be the best we've ever had. However, there is a lot they need to amend and fix. So I think at a bare minimum, the Modern Warfare 2019 stuff that I talked about at the start, and maybe a couple things out the new stuff list I made, I think if we edited all of those, it could be a brilliant, like, fantastic game, like top tier, top 3 Call of Duty games of all time, because I think it has that much potential. However, until they amend a lot of this stuff, I'm going to go with a 7. I'm still really enjoying this game overall. I love playing this game. It's a lot of fun. It's very enjoyable. But once again, there's a lot getting in the way of me enjoying it as much as I could be, and that really is sad. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below this beta. Are you looking forward to the game? Are you not looking forward to it? Let me know what you think. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.